It's the hashtag Simply Cyber, COMMUNITY. Here to break the cycle, this is vital more than you and I. Yeah, it's exciting, it don't matter what your title is. You can grab a friend or two or three or four, invite them in. It's the Simply Cyber, bring a good vibe. It's that live with Jerry every morning, having good time. And you know we love to see for you, just gotta go and get it. Yeah, you know we all believe in you, it's time to grow together. It's that Simply Cyber, bring a good vibe. It's that live with Jerry every morning, having good times. And you know we love to see for you, just gotta go and get it. Yeah, you know we all believe in you, it's time to grow together. Dr. Auger is a OG, got that potion, the elixir. Got devotion to all those who keep on showing up to witness. Fit the tricks and quips and all the tips to raise your cyber fitness. Switching up the routines, pass it off to James quicker. Keep the people smiling, hit that follow, that's a good decision. Every week, today, tomorrow, I encourage y'all to listen. We gon' teach y'all way more than how to protect yourselves from phishing. More like being confident so you can recognize a vision. On a mission, it's official, we gon' get through all these issues. Time for jawjacking, baby, this is more than a tradition, yeah. Oh, I can't forget to recognize the mods. They the engine, they the reason that you leave and feeling charged. It's that Simply Cyber, bring a good vibe. It's that live with Jerry every morning, having good times. And you know we love to see for you, just gotta go and get it. Yeah, you know we all believe in you, it's time we grow together. It's that Simply Cyber, bring a good vibe. It's that live with Jerry every morning, having good times. And you know we love to see for you, just gotta go and get it. Yeah, you know we all believe in you, it's time we grow together. Yeah. What else can I say? I hope you find some value in this place and have yourself an awesome day. Simply Cyber's here to stay. So let's all put our hands together ready. Time to hang with Dr. A.
All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the party. Today is Monday, July 21st, 2025. This is episode 900 and, wait for it, 923 of your Simply Cyber Daily Cyber Threat Free podcast. I am your host, as usual, Dr. Gerald Auger, and over the next hour, me, you, Dream Logic with a super chat, Hooey Booey, James McQuiggan at 35,000 feet, Marcus Kyler, hopefully Josh Mason, and Wade Wells, as they bring you Season 4, Episode 1 of Simply Defensive, your defensive podcast on the Simply Cyber Media Network. Guys, we got a banger of a show for you today. Over the next hour, I'm going to be going through the top cybersecurity news stories of the day alongside all of my friends in the Simply Cyber community like Chuck Sapp, Augusta Delgado, Marcus Kyler of the Yeet Crew, Alpha Sierra, Mr. Gunkel, Steve Young with all his interesting hot takes, Butler N.A., and Trey Black, among others. Guys, we're going to shred them. I'm going to do everything in my power to go through the top cyber news stories of the day, and on top of that, go beneath the headlines to enable you to have insights that you wouldn't normally get from like a textbook or a classroom, based on my 20 years of experience and just, you know, being around the network, having an absolute passion for cybersecurity. And the ultimate goal here is, like, you know, what's the impact, Jerry? Speaking of GRC, am I right? What's the impact is you're going to be able to take all this insight to level yourself up as a professional, as well as crush it in any job interview and be able to deliver excellence in your first job in cybersecurity. That's what, excuse me, that's the point of this show, and this is the point of this community. So if you're not familiar, that's what's cracking around here. Now, for all the stories we're going to be going through, I want to tell you, I have not researched or prepped for any of them. I'll give you a hint why.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
That is correct. Ain't nobody got time for that. I'm out here with my cup of coffee, my microphone. I got 2 turntables, drink. If there is a, just so you know, if there's a 90s reference at any point, we yell drink. You can drink your coffee. It's not necessarily get a hammered at 8 a.m. kind of thing. It's just a fun thing we do. I do want to say shout out to Space Tacos and the Team Sippy Cup. James McQuiggan loves himself some Sippy Cup. I have the more traditional in the studio Simply Cyber mug, but that's what we're cracking. Guys, I want you to know, leveling up with the top cyber news is something that you need to do. if you work in the industry right now, you already know that you need to stay current on all the threat intelligence going on. But for those people looking to break in and they don't realize it, I'm telling you right now, not only will you be asked in any cybersecurity job interview, how do you stay current on the industry? In order to be as best and excellent and kick butt as you can as a practitioner, you need to stay current on what's going on. It's going to help you decide. It's going to help you decide where you need to focus, where you need to prioritize, where you even need to train up, all these things. But before we get into it, let me say holla, 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 and shout out to the stream sponsors, those who enable me to bring the show to you. Gosh, I wish I had a cup of water here. It seems like I chose poorly when I did my percolations today on my coffee. Guys, I want to say shout out to the stream sponsors, those who enable me to bring this show to you every single day. Speaking of the show, we got the stream schedule. Holy crap, I forgot I teed this thing up. Ooh, look at this, guys. Look at the shows for this week. This schedule is posted on the Simply Cyber Discord server. So if you're not aware, go to !Discord and chat right now and it'll pop up. Why is my camera frozen? That's not going to work for me. Jesus. Hold on. Hold on. Is it going to be one of these days? Oh, you chose poorly, OBS. All right, anyways, we got Simply Defensive today, Simply Offensive tomorrow, Simply Social Engineering Wednesday, Cybersecurity Mentors Podcast Thursday, and Simply Secured with James McQuiggan at 35,000 feet on Friday. Guys, it is most excellent schedule of shows. Now, really quickly, my camera continues to freeze, which is going to be problematic. Allow me, really quickly, y'all. Allow me to resolve this issue. If this continues, I might have to grab my business continuity camera and stand that up, which is fine. We can do business continuity planning, right? All right, hold on. Yeah, we're going to see. This thing is a hot mess. All right, guys, let me say shout out to the stream sponsors, those who enable me to bring the show to you, starting with Barricade Cyber Solutions, Fortify 365. Is your Microsoft 365 environment secure? Well, with business email compromise attacks on the rise, your entire operation could be at risk. Fortify 365 from Barricade Cyber Solutions is your shield. Their team of experts implements proven security standards to protect your business from cyber threats, ensure compliance, and safeguard your data. They've helped countless organizations, including my own, strengthen their M365 defenses with tailored solutions that address real-world problems. Don't wait until after a breach to take action. Visit Fortify 365. That's Fortify365.com today to learn how they can secure your Microsoft environment against tomorrow's threats. Yes, sir. All right, as always, we got Antisyphon training. There's still time here to register for their Blue Team Summit. Now, I know many of you, here's something you may not know. Many of you in the Simply Cyber community are speaking at Blue Team Summit. If you are speaking at Blue Team Summit, sound off in chat. Would love to know who's going to be speaking. I know many of you submitted talks to Blue Team Summit, which is super awesome. It's kind of like a low-key Simply Cyber takeover. But Antisyphon training is disrupting the traditional cybersecurity training industry by offering high-quality, cutting-edge education to everyone, regardless of financial position. And you can go to this Cybersecurity Blue Team Summit, I believe, for free. August 27th, 11 to 4. It is virtual. Yeah, look at this. I'm going to drop a link in chat right here. Oh, did they notify people? I don't know. That's actually a great question. I thought by now they would have, honestly. Is Zach here? Is IT career questions? I don't know. Chuck Sapp, when Kathy Chambers gets here, let's rattle the cage, if we will. Oh, Becky Gaylord says she's speaking there. So yes, Chuck Sapp, I guess they did let some people know. Congratulations, Becky Gaylord. Congrats. Awesome. And to all those in the Simply Cyber community, I hope you can attend. And those who are speaking, congratulations. I hope you have a great experience. Speaking of great experiences, let's talk about my experience with Delete Me. Delete Me is, hold on one second, jeez. Many of you know that I've been a Delete Me subscriber for some time. Did you know that right now the headlines are chock full of data breaches and regulatory rollbacks, making us all vulnerable? But you can do something about it. Delete Me is here to make it easy, quick, and safe to remove your personal data online. The fact is we're all at risk, and that and having an easier way to deal with data breaches is very, very helpful. How many times have you gotten an email or a letter saying your data has been breached? It's unsettling, but the good news is Delete Me can help, right? As someone with an active online presence, privacy is really important to me. I already have a tough time managing my own online privacy. Being, kind of a public figure, having a YouTube channel, doing live streams every day, that certainly adds to the risk profile. And as a GRC professional who's all about likelihood times impact, the likelihood variable goes up where you're doing public YouTubes and stuff like that. So take control of your data. Keep your private life private by signing up for Delete Me. Now at a special discount for our listeners, get 20% off your Delete Me plan when you go to joindeleteme.com/simplycyber. Use code simplycyber at checkout. The only way to get 20% off is to go to joindeleteme.com/simplycyber and enter code simplycyber at checkout. That's joindeleteme.com/simplycyber, code simplycyber. Thank you very much, Delete Me. Thank you very much, everybody in chat. Guys, I want you to know, hold on 1 second. I want you to know that every single episode of the Daily Cyber Threat Brief, including this one, that's right, Space Tacos knows, every single episode is worth half a CPE. So say what's up in chat, grab a screenshot. If you have cybersecurity certifications that need maintenance, that's what CPEs are. This is an instructor-led webinar. When you peel back the sound effects, when you peel back the cool graphics, when you peel back the retro synthwave pink and blues with the little, whatever this blue thing is, doing this thing on the wall here. When you peel it all back, this is an instructor-led webinar. All day, every day, it's on brand. It definitely meets many of the certification body CPE requirements. So say what's up in chat, grab a screenshot, and once a year, count up the screenshots, divide by 2, and that's what you got. Guys, every single day of the week, here at Simply Cyber's Daily Cyber Threat Brief has a special segment, and Mondays is the Simply Cyber Community Member of the Week presented by ThreatLocker. All presented by ThreatLocker means is that I get to give a prize away, $100 Amazon gift card or $100+ worth of Simply Cyber merch. Winners delight, and I love doing it. We got another great community member to recognize today, so stay tuned for that at the mid-roll. All right, everybody, hold on. I'm seeing some congratulations out here. Cyber Stoic passed the cert. Boom, baby, boom. Nicely done, Cyber Stoic. Passing the CISA. That is not an easy one. ISACA definitely makes you earn that one. I had to take that as a paper exam because I'm old. Is the CISA exam still paper, like the Scantron bubbles? And hey, Gen Z kids, you used to have to take paper exams. It's crazy. Oh, yeah, Meta CTFs this Thursday. Guys, we are also hosting a Capture the Flag event on Thursday, 5 to 7 p.m. Eastern Time, live in Discord at Pwnerjoe, Pwnerjoe. That's Pwnerjoe. Pwnerjoe is our Capture the Flag marshal. So if you're into doing Capture the Flag, if you've never done a Capture the Flag before and you'd like to do it, very, very low intimidation factor doing it through Simply Cyber. That's the entire reason we set it up. And you get prizes, $100 to the first place, $50 to second, $25 to third. This is sponsored by me. So it's all about good times. Get in here, talk to Pwnerjoe. All right, guys, let's let someone else do the talking because my throat's driving me bananas. All right, guys, do me a favor. It's Lavincia says, so glad she never has to see a Scantron again. Hell yeah. The Pain says that Gen Alpha is going to be blue books. I actually forgot about the blue books. The Pain, that's kind of PTSD right there. All right, guys, do me a favor. I need all of you to sit back, relax while I'm going to pour a fresh cup of coffee here. Not over my computer. sit back, relax, and let's let the cool sounds of the hot news wash over us in an awesome wave. Angular passed the ISC2 CC exam on Friday, first cyber cert. Heck yeah, man. Crush it. What's up, FedEx? Good to see you. Everybody, let's party.
From the CISO series, it's Cybersecurity Headlines.
These are the cybersecurity headlines for Monday, July 21st, 2025. I'm Steve Prentice.
Hold on. I see the wrecking ball emote. Lara Flores has triggered me. Says Angular. I see FedEx with wrecking ball emotes. Where is it? Where is it? I'm digging right now. Where is it? Come on. You know, like, I might be the host of the show, but I love being part of this community. Where is the Angular update? Where is it? Angular definitely got a job. Where? Oh, no. Oh, I see. It's the wrecking ball is being used. I see. Okay.
Hewlett-Packard warns of hard-coded passwords in Aruba access points. This warning refers to hard-coded credentials in Aruba instant-on access points, which are, quote, compact, plug-and-play Wi-Fi devices designed primarily for small to medium-sized businesses, offering enterprise-grade features with cloud mobile app management, end quote. The existence of hard-coded access points means that attackers can bypass normal device authentication and access the web interface. This issue has a CVE number as well as a critical CVSS score of 9.8. SharePoint.
What? Okay. So here we go. I haven't used this one in a while. Okay, check it out. In the world of IT, okay, this is a shout out to the IT counterparts in chat, all you MSP folks, I see you. In the world of IT, I'm going to make it very simple, okay? Look I got this pencil. This is my current reality, by the way. Like, I need to take notes because I keep paper to-do lists, and my pen died, and I'm in a basement with like children toys, and I've been using this multicolored pencil as my as my writing implement, which it's like low-key ridiculous. Like you see what I'm saying? Like, I'm writing with crayons down here. Anything to get the show done, right? It's all about business continuity, resiliency. Anyways, picture this as the continuum of orange is security and blue is usability. And IT has to decide where their operation sits in this thing, okay? Blue is usability, orange is security. And you have a slider, and you can slide it wherever you want. The more usable it gets, the less secure it is. The more secure it is, the less usable it is. So if you take it and you take the machine and you put it at the bottom of the ocean, it's completely secure. No one's hacking it. It's also completely unusable. You put it in kiosk mode and let everybody and their cousin touch it like it's a neighborhood bicycle or a doorknob, right? And then it's wicked usable. There's no problems. You will never get a help desk call, but it's completely insecure. So the reason we get paid money, people, is because we figure out where on this continuum we're supposed to put the line, and we get the benefits of usability while being secure. Okay, that's the deal. Now, Hewlett-Packard Enterprise's instant on access point has entered the chat. The fact that it has hard-coded creds and the name of the product is instant on should raise eyebrows, okay? The idea here is, I get it. The idea here is they're selling this dream that you can just purchase this thing like any good executive. You can just stroke a check, throw it like it's a piece of equipment in DayZ, just right, zip it, or like it's a turtle shell in Super Mario Brothers 3, like you choose your own adventure drink, okay? and you have instant access. I do want to point out that the military does have this capability for quick deployments and stuff like that, but typically they're using secure comms, first of all, and second of all, they're in like it's kind of like quick setups and then quick breakdowns. This they're suggesting is like your business's wireless internet. Okay. This is an example where the usability is like way over on the side and it's totally great, but the internet is not good. The security is not good. If you are using this particular piece of technology at your business, or you've deployed this in like you're an MSP and you've deployed this somewhere, then you need to get on top of this as soon as possible. Okay, this is a plug and play. You know. This almost feels like the dream that UPnP was. If you guys remember I think UPnP's gone away, but that was the idea that you plug it in and like discovers everything on your network and makes all the connections. It's a hot mess express. Hard-coded credentials are exactly what they sound like. Hard-coded. You can reverse it. Here's the problem with hard-coded credentials. Number one, once they're known, they get published and they work for every particular device. This isn't PKI. This is symmetric key. So you get it in one, you can use it anywhere. Two, because it's hard coded, it means you can dump the firmware and root around in it like a reverse engineer and find it. You can't control the leak of that credential when it's hard coded, and that's the problem. So I don't know how this got got. The only thing I would point out is, and again, I'd have to do some research. I don't research or prep for these shows. This is a wireless access point. And it can do, like it's got guest network and stuff like that. The only thing I can think of is this may not be internet facing. This might just be like really to do wireless network. So like it almost like the internet would come into your business and then it would bridge through into this thing. So technically you might have to be like within the cloud of the wireless network to exploit it. But if someone gets on your network, through a different means or, initial access through like a VPN, internet facing firewall, compromised endpoint, and they find this thing, well, then they can set up shop and put it on like a pair of pants.
0 day exploited via remote code execution, no patch available. This critical 0-day vulnerability, which also has a CVE number, has been actively exploited since at least July 18th. At least 85 servers have already been compromised worldwide. In May, researchers from Vietel Cybersecurity, that is VIETTEL, demonstrated this vulnerability at Pwn2Own Berlin, in which 2 other Microsoft SharePoint flaws were chained in a tool shell attack to achieve remote code execution. Microsoft did patch the tool shell flaws as part of the July Patch Tuesday. However, they say this new variant is being actively exploited in the wild. The company adds the flaw does not impact Microsoft 365 and that they are working on a security update, which will be released as soon as possible.
Okay. So Microsoft SharePoint, just here's a fun fact. If you've worked in industry for like more than, 5 years, you've seen Microsoft SharePoints, and they're usually hot messes. Okay, just so you know, just like regardless of all the marketing material and all the cool graphics you may have seen, most SharePoints turn into dumpster fires, just like most Active Directories turn into dumpster fires. It's just the reality. So here's the deal. If you're running on-prem Microsoft SharePoint and you did not apply the July monthly patches that Microsoft rolls out, you are at risk. And it's called Tool Shell. I haven't actually looked at this one, the term Tool Shell. I saw this in my feeds over the weekend, but my weekend was like crazy busy. I did like 9 hours at a museum, and then I went to see the F1 movie. So like I was blown out this weekend. Oh, let me see this really quickly. Tool shell. How does this work? See, here's why we need infographics. Give me an infographic showing the exploitation chain. I don't see it. All right. Well, here's the deal. This is as complicated as this is. Number one, you got to patch it, right? You got to patch it. Number two, as they point out, if you're running Microsoft 365 SharePoint, then you're not vulnerable, right? This is just like Exchange Online. Like if you're running on Exchange on-prem, you're really running risks. And if you're running it in the cloud, you're fine. Same with SharePoint. Now, Sean Sailors points out that the patch was released. The July patch for Tool Shell was released, so you should apply that. However, there's a new exploit for that patch. So even more interesting. Honestly, guys, here's what I would do, okay? I guess first of all, I would look to see like how bad this vulnerability is, okay? Let's do this. Using Barricade Cyber's EPSS tool. So there's 7/100ths of a chance that you get exploited in the next 30 days. Now, I don't know if this is based on how widespread or how little SharePoint on-prem is, and that's why it's a small number or not. Not entirely sure, but if I had an internet-facing SharePoint, I would definitely be leery of this. I wouldn't make this a you got to patch it instantly kind of thing. I would make it patched as part of your workflow. Here's two things that I'll tell you about this one. Number one, treat this as like a this should be something that you treat as like a normal thing, okay? There's no patch available yet, okay? But there's exploits in the wild. What this means is you can't protect from it, right? When we think of the NIST cybersecurity framework, you've identified your SharePoint server, so you got that part done. Protect it, so it's identify, protect, detect, respond, recover. You've already identified it. The protect it isn't really there. You could pull down the SharePoint altogether and that would protect it, but that's stupid. That's getting back to my dumb example between usability and security. You could take the SharePoint server and take it offline and it would not get hacked, but like it's completely unusable, right? So what do you got to do? Well, if you can't protect it, what you need to do, or you should do, is put in detection mechanisms. Figure out, like, look up this exploit, see what it does, see what files it touches, see what processes it creates, see what C2 servers it reaches out to, see what services it creates or scheduled tasks or what, I don't know how it works yet, okay? Whatever it is, and then either create a detection or go online and look through threat intelligence and see if there are detections available. The gist is here, you want to be able to detect exploitation of this vulnerability as soon as possible. If you can't stop it from happening, you can certainly cut down the mean time to detect to as little as possible. So if it does get exploited, which according to EPSS is highly unlikely of happening, 7/100ths of a chance, so it's unlikely to get exploited in your world, but if it does, your detection will catch it and you can intervene ASAP. And this is where the value is. So that's for defenders. For offensive and security researcher people, let me drop this knowledge bomb on your face. They said that a patch came out and a new exploit's been written to exploit the patch. Here's the reality. When a patch comes out, you can take the instance of SharePoint pre-patch, and I'm being super generic right now. Like, you wouldn't take all of SharePoint. You would take the specific files, but just bear with me here. You would take SharePoint pre-patch, you would take SharePoint post-patch, right? You would take those two and you would compare them, because literally the only difference between those two will be what the patch did. And when you can see the one change or the changes that the patch made, as a security researcher, you can zero in on that like the eye of Sauron and be like, whoa, what did they do? Oh, they overwrote this, or they put a check in here, or they did something, right? And sometimes we saw this with Log4j back in 2021, or yeah, I think it was 2021. Sometimes the patch is something super specific, like don't write that file or delete X, Y, and Z. And it doesn't really fix the problem. It just makes kind of the exploit not work, right? So it becomes easy to exploit the patch. So threat actors aren't, or researchers aren't like, oh, like, let me find another brand new 0-day. They're literally looking at the thing you just did. And if you didn't do it well, because a lot of times software developers are trying to, as quickly as possible, create a patch and push it out to the masses, that they don't do very thorough unit testing, or they don't catch a fringe case, and threat actors do. So that's why you'll see patch come out and then an immediate another exploit of that patch. That's what's going on there.
Encrypt Hub uses fake AI platforms to target Web3 developers. Encrypt Hub, also known as Larva 208, is targeting Web3 developers in a new campaign using information stealer malware. According to Swiss firm ProDaft, the group lures victims through fake AI platforms like Norlax AI, posing as job recruiters or even portfolio reviewers. While previously known for ransomware, Encrypt Hub now focuses on harvesting data from crypto wallets and development environments. Freelance developers working in decentralized ecosystems are particularly vulnerable due to limited security controls. The attackers spread malicious meeting links via platforms like X, Telegram, and job boards like Remote3, disguising them as legitimate interview invitations.
All right, really quickly. Oh, never mind. JT Webb answered Angular's question. Thank you, thanks, JT Webb. All right, so we're seeing more of the same. Encrypt Hub is just a threat actor. It doesn't matter. Targeting Web3 devs. All right, so we're talking crypto here, right? Basically, here's the deal. People who are doing crypto's, obviously it's financial, fintech, there's money involved. There's a lot of people who don't know what they're doing. There's a lot of people who know what they're doing that are still making mistakes. There's a lot of people who don't know what they're doing that are very easy to trick. And basically, dude, from meme coins, rug pulls, NFT shenanigans, Ponzi schemes, like it's like a fraudster's dreamland going on up in whatever, like Web3 and all this stuff. So right now there's a lot of code, there's a lot of like AI hype, as there has been for years. And if you can imagine if you will, no gimmicks, no tricks, AI can quickly analyze the market and do arbitrage for you, buying and selling your cryptocurrency quicker than a human ever could. Guaranteed returns, 300x your profit per day. Look at this guy with a Bugatti on an island. He downloaded it last week. Don't let this pass you by. Dude, it is Huckster 101. And again, dude, there's a sucker born every day. People fall for it all the time. This is what's up. Basically, all they're doing is tricking you to download and install malware. Why should I write malware that's super clever and circumvents EDR and does anti-malware techniques and has anti-analysis when I can just tell you, hey, if you want to get money, install this software. Click, 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 right? That's all that's going on here, man. Protect yourself. Protect your friends. If you're at the 4th of July party or Thanksgiving and your kid's home from college and they're talking about, I'm going to be the next, digital Warren Buffett. I've got an edge. You may want to let them know about these stories. Also, just really quick, educate your end users. Like, here's my thing. I'm a big fan of, like, I guess, libertarianism. Like, if you want to do things, you do you, boo. Like, go, Oklahoma Sooner. Go run the land. Go plant a flag. Go do your thing. I wish you all the best of luck. Do not do it on a company workstation, because if you infect your workstation with malware, now I've got a problem, and that means you've got a problem, okay? So just educate your workforce around some of these risks. Don't install malware. Realistically, GRC awareness training's only going to go so far in this particular instance, because we're talking about money, and with at least in the United States, with inflation and AI displacing people, and people are getting desperate, right? So the promise of quick, easy returns seems very, very appealing. So I could see people not listening to base, cyber hygiene type stuff. So if you can, I would also consider implementing, and this is a best practice anyways, but like privileged access management. So when, Carl tries to install Encrypt Hub malware, it doesn't work. You know what I mean? Don't allow your end users to be admins on their boxes.
Russian vodka producer suffers ransomware attack. The Nova Bev Group, which is the Russian producer and distributor of the Beluga and Belenkaya vodka brands, has announced what it calls technical issues involving an unnamed organization that happens to be demanding a ransom. The company has closed more than 2,000 of its liquor stores across Russia as it deals with this issue, one that experts calculate is costing it up to the equivalent of $3.8 million a day.
Holy crap.
Its website and mobile app are also down. No ransomware group has yet claimed responsibility for this attack.
All right. Couple things here. One, I know Russians like vodka, okay? Like, I don't know if that's like a trope or a stereotype, but everything I know would suggest that Russians love vodka. Like like leaders in Russia drink vodka to like celebrate signing big like contracts, like peace treaties and stuff like that. I've known some Russians. I mean, they can party. They can put down some hard liquor, dude. Okay, so this is interesting. Now, there's two things I want to point out. Number one, $3.8 million a day this company's losing. Bro, how much vodka is that? 3.8. I don't know if we can do the numbers here, but like just back of the napkin math. Like if a bottle of vodka costs $20, how many times is 20 going to 3.8 million? Like whatever that number is, right? So I guess it would be 1.9 million if it was a $10 bottle. So what is that? $190,000 a day of vodka? Oh no, that's 190,000 bottles of vodka. I think my math's right here. 190,000 bottles of vodka a day if a bottle of vodka was $20. Okay? Holy Jesus. I mean, at my apex in college, I wasn't scratching that. So I don't know what they're doing over there, but I will say this. I find it wildly interesting that this is almost like psyops, right? Let me do two things. Number one, let's just be real about this. This is a manufacturing company in Russia. They manufacture booze, but they're manufacturing anything, manufacturing widgets. And when you impact manufacturing operations, you impede the ability for a business to deliver a product that it sells for revenue, right? So there's a reason manufacturing and healthcare are targeted. Healthcare is basically like manufacturing healing, right, for individuals. That's what they're doing, right? Like you come in with sickness, you get processed, and you leave healthy, hopefully, right? So healthcare and manufacturing aren't that much different. And that's why it's so popular. Now, being somewhat funny on this one, I don't know who the ransomware attack was from, but listen to this. If I was Ukraine, who's currently in a land war with Russia, you can attack their infrastructure, you can attack their military, you can attack their government and everything like that. But I will say that, there's a reason that liquor is a popular option for decompression and, frankly, self-medication, especially for people who are frontline facing in a military conflict. Dude, war is hell. I've never been there, right? I've seen interviews, I've seen things, academic stuff, and it's really, really messes with people mentally. So I could see a lot of vodka being self-medication reasoning, and to disrupt the manufacturing of that is kind of it's kind of a blow to their what's the word I'm looking for? Oh my God, like I don't know, like their vibes. Okay, so I don't know. We'll see. See you later, Dream Logic.
Huge thanks to our sponsor, Nudge Security. What do identity risks, data security risks, and third-party risks have in common? They are all made dramatically worse by SaaS sprawl. Nudge Security helps you mitigate these risks by discovering every SaaS account ever created by anyone in your organization within minutes of starting a free trial. But discovery is just the first step. With Nudge, you can automate ongoing governance tasks like security posture checks, enforcing MFA, revoking risky app-to-app access, and more. Visit nudgesecurity.com/headlines to start a free trial. That is the two words nudgesecurity together.com/headlines.
All right, let's do Threat Locker real quick. I want to give some love to the Daily Cyber Threat Brief sponsor, Threat Locker. Do zero-day exploits and supply chain attacks keep you up at night? Well, worry no more. You can harden your security with Threat Locker. Worldwide, companies like JetBlue trust Threat Locker to secure their data and keep their business operations flying high. Threat Locker takes a deny-by-default approach to cybersecurity and provides a full audit of every action allowed or blocked for risk management and compliance. Onboarding and operation is fully supported by their US-based Cyber Heroes support team. Get a free 30-day trial and learn more about how Threat Locker can help prevent ransomware and ensure compliance. Visit threatlocker.com. Here we go, and thank you. The word was morale, so thank you for those who said it. Here we go. All right, holla, 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 holla. Guys, thank you so very much for being here. Thank you all so much for being here. Thanks for being part of the show. Thanks for commenting and sharing your thoughts. I tell you all the time, but, you know, it never hurts to speak and communicate and let people know how you feel. I firmly believe that. No regrets. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all you do, Simply Cyber community. It's an absolute pleasure to serve you. I am very, very grateful for this opportunity. Thank you again to the sponsors, Barricade Cyber, Delete Me, Flare, and Threat Locker for enabling me to bring this show to you and all the other shows that we do on the channel. Moshe Levy's in the house for the CPE check. Guys, every single day of the week has a special segment. And Mondays, we all know, as the Simply Cyber Community Member of the Weekday, sponsored by Threat Locker. Now, Threat Locker is a security vendor who brings a deny-by-default application security approach, and they sponsor the Community Member of the Week, which enables me to take the money that they give me and flip to be able to give the Community Member of the Week a prize for being awesome. This week's member, all of you know him. I'd like to introduce you to the Simply Cyber Community Member of the Week for this week, Fleetus Posted in the Third. Now, many of you know Fleetus. I just wanted to call out Fleetus because not only has Fleetus been a regular in the community in the Discord server, but he has made an effort to join the panel on Fridays and offer his guidance, his thoughts and mentorship. Fleetus was laid off just a couple months ago, and he's out there working and networking and doing all the things that he needs to do for himself and for his responsibilities, but also staying optimistic and carving out time to contribute and give back to our community. So I just wanted to recognize him for his effort and contributions, and also thank him for being inspiring to everybody who is currently, dealing with a situation of layoffs and all this other crap. A true inspiration. So thank you very much, Fleetus, for all you do. Go ahead and connect with me, and I'll get you your Amazon gift card or your Simply Cyber merch, dude. All right. Let's go ahead and slide to the la-la-las. Here we go. Alpha Sierra is going to lead us off. Oh, and he's going to be on Simply Secured. Very cool. Let's go. La-la-la-la. right, let's slide back in and finish strong, y'all.
CISA adds Fortinet.
Whoa. Hold on now. Mark King. We didn't even ask for first timers, and Mark King self-submitted that it's his first episode. Mark King, welcome to the party, pal.
Welcome to the party, pal.
Love it. Let's give Mark King some love, Simply Cyber community. If you're a team member, you know exactly what to do. There we go. Hell yeah, dude. Welcome to the party. I hope you have a great show.
FortiWeb flaw to known exploited vulnerabilities catalog. This flaw is an SQL injection vulnerability with a CVSS score of 9.6, which allows unauthenticated attackers to execute unauthorized SQL commands via crafted HTTP or HTTPS requests. The exploitation began on July 11th, the same day a proof of concept was released, resulting in dozens of compromised systems. Organizations using the affected FortiWeb versions are, of course, urged to update immediately.
All right, so there's a lot going on here that I need to share with you. Number one, CISA releases the known exploited vulnerabilities catalog. Hey, really quickly, I'm going to drop like 5 knowledge bombs on this one. So, either mark tape and go back or get a pencil or something like that. Okay, so number one, CISA's known exploited vulnerabilities catalog, the KEV. CISA maintains this, and it's a list of vulnerabilities that are actively being exploited, which increases the likelihood that you will experience a compromise of that vulnerability if you have it. So it is another tool in the toolbox that you can use alongside EPSS to decide, hey, which of these vulnerabilities do I need to look at or repair sooner than later? Number two, this is a Fortinet FortiWeb flaw. So if you're running this technology, you should absolutely patch it. You gotta patch it. They've released a patch for it. Hold on, I believe. Let me see. Hey, hold on one second. Yeah. The patches are already released. So if you're 764, 748, 7211, 7011, I know those are just numbers to most people, but the real Bilbos of the world probably cue in on this. If you're running these, you should definitely, if you're not, you should get it patched. Okay, this seems like a really important one. The next element is that it is a SQL injection attack vulnerabilities. So don't think that, because SQL injection's been around since the late 90s, that, this is new. There's no reason to find these. Yeah, no, they happen all the time, right? Humans write code. Code can be vulnerable. There you go. SQL injection is essential. SQL is the database language. It's how you interact with databases traditionally, especially relational databases. I know there's like NoSQL, Java, JSON-based databases and crap, but for the most part, just work with me. SQL is the query language for interfacing with databases. A SQL injection is manipulating the application side or the view side of a model view controller, a modern web application design pattern, in order to access and manipulate the database underneath the model view control, like underneath the view controller elements of a model view controller. So it's manipulating the database schema, updates, deletes, dumping data, whatever. Okay. That's what SQL injection is. Typically you can, create accounts, you can dump creds. It's nasty business and you don't want it. Okay. So that's SQL injection. The next thing is, this is analysis coming from Watchtower. I really like Watchtower. I've been seeing them drop interesting security research on the regular. At this point, when I see analysis from Watchtower, I'm immediately saying this is super legit and super interesting and worth checking out. So I would recommend that to you as well. They're not like one of the bigger, like as far as I know, they're not one of the bigger ones like SentinelOne or Palo Alto. I don't know who they are, but I love what they're doing. The final thing I'll share with you, and this is kind of like what I would consider maybe the most kind of like academic lesson learned. And I think AI has to play a role here. A patch came out in the same day. I'm sorry. Hold on one second. A proof of concept exploit was published, and then the same day active exploitation came out, okay? So a proof of concept just shows the exploitation of the vulnerability. It doesn't include any type of malicious behavior. It's basically what would be a good example of this? It's like showing, I don't know, it's like demonstrating that like if you kick a door right by the deadbolt, like if you kick a door right by the deadbolt really hard with a boot on, the door will kick in. And that's it. Like it's not telling you which house to kick in, inside door, outside door, big door, red door, blue door, one fish, two fish. It doesn't say anything. It's just saying really quick, if you kick a door right at the deadbolt with a boot this particular way, it will break the door down. That is a proof of concept exploit. It got weaponized immediately. And I believe that someone probably took the proof of exploit code, ran it through AI, and then extended it. The time between publishing and active exploitation was within a few hours. And again, you might say, like, why is AI got to be involved? Yeah, you could take a proof of concept exploit and weaponize it, but the thing is, you have to typically you got to kind of bake it into something and get it tested and make sure it works and get your target pools lined up and all those other things. All of the time to do all that was compressed. To me, it sounds like AI. So anyways, lot to learn, lot to digest from this particular story. But the number one TLDR is if you're running Fortinet, FortiWeb, you definitely got to get it sorted out.
Japanese police release decryptor for Phobos ransomware following arrests. Following up on a story we covered last February, Japan's National Police Agency has now released a free decryption tool and a guide published in English, quote, for organizations impacted by attacks from the Phobos and 8 base groups, which collected more than $16 million from about 1,000 victims worldwide, dating back to 2019, end quote. The decryption tool was shared by the European Cybercrime Center and the FBI, who pointed out that it was the FBI Baltimore office that led an investigation that brought charges against Phobos affiliates earlier this year.
All right, hold on. So Phobos, and he was saying Phobos, but I read it as Phobos. Isn't Phobos the largest moon of Jupiter? Hold on. Just being a nerd. It's the innermost and largest of Mars. Okay. All right, so I didn't realize. So I guess honestly, guys, I did not realize that Mars had 2 moons or 2 things circling it. That's interesting. Okay, so here's the deal. 8 base and Phobos were 2 really, I would say, top 10 threat actor ransomware gangs in 2023, 2024. Conti had gotten, destroyed. I'd have to go back and look at when Change Healthcare happened, but that's when Alfie Black Cat disbanded and Ransom Hub stood up. But 8 base and Phobos were definitely in the mix. 8 base particularly was making some headway. Well, hold on. This definitely warrants this.
Regulators! Mount up. It was a clear black night, a clear white moon. Warren G was on the streets trying to consume some.
Okay, so Japan's National Police Agency, the FBI out of the Baltimore office. Guys, I got to tell you, I feel like I'd have to do some research on this, but I feel like the Baltimore office of the FBI is always getting their fingers involved in some type of cyber criminal activity. So shout out to all the Baltimore folks out there making it safe for us. I'm not quite sure where these guys got hit. Let's see. A Russian national named Evgeny Pitsyn. I don't even know how to read. I know this is sounds super uncultured, but I do not know how to read Russian names. This isn't even in Cyrillic. This isn't in English, but I don't even is this Titsyn? Ptitsyn? How do you pronounce that? Is there any Russians in chat? Titsyn? It's like pterodactyl. PT. All right. So this guy got arrested. He turned state's evidence. And he gave up all this information. Look at all these victims, man. California public school system, Maryland-based consulting, Pennsylvania healthcare, Illinois-based DoD contractor, another healthcare, law enforcement. Bro, you can't be messing with this. Yeah, this was a global law enforcement takedown. The FBI, Germany, Japan took down 100 servers in the Phobos scheme. The good news is, here's the good news / bad news. Number one, these 2 ransomware threat actors are gone, okay? Or they're severely hobbled. Ransomware still makes a ton of money, okay? Ransomware makes a ton of money.
Straight cash, homie.
So, yeah, Phobos and 8base is down, but another threat actor is going to like step into their place. It's very similar to like dark web marketplaces, okay? Number 2, there's decryptors available for Phobos and 8base. Realistically, if you were a business that got hit with Phobos in 2023 and 24 when they were popular, okay? You might have encrypted data, but like there's no way a business is sitting around sitting on its thumb waiting for a decryptor, right? So you've either gone out of business, which is less likely than you would assume. You've either gone out of business, moved on and started fresh, right? And starting new data and just kind of dealt with the impact, cyber insurance to cover the losses, etc. 3, you've basically just like restored from backups, right? That's another great option. TLDR, it's just, here's my thing. Like, I appreciate the decryptor, but like, who's using it? Like, if you use it to decrypt the encrypted ones, but you already is restored from backups, no value. If you've already restarted your business, what's the point of going back and unlocking things from 2023, 24? I will say that there are some fringe cases. Maybe someone had like their personal photos encrypted and they want those for sentimental value. There could be some contracts or like a Bitcoin wallet, right? Somewhere in there that like, so I feel like it's going to be very specific use cases. This isn't 50 companies got hit last week and now a decryptor's available and they're still dealing with the fallout of a ransomware incident. And this is a lifeline to be thrown at them. Speaking of lifelines, this is like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? And like, you've already failed. You've already left the studio. You've already gone on an airplane and flown back to Toledo. You're at your job 3 weeks later and they're like, hey, we'd love to offer you a 50-50 or, phone a friend option. You're like, what, for what? What are we talking about here, bro? Okay. So anyways, law enforcement, thank you. I appreciate all you do. I certainly couldn't be a law enforcement officer, so I'm glad that there are people out there who can respond to that societal need.
UK government warns of OAuth malware attributed to Russian actors. This warning focuses on Russian group APT28, also known as Fancy Bear and Forest Blizzard, and it has been, quote, deploying previously unknown malware to harvest Microsoft email credentials and steal access to compromised accounts, end quote. This malware has been nicknamed Authentic Antics by the UK government, which refers to the malware that targets the Windows operating system and which runs within Microsoft Outlook, prompting users to enter their credentials. The malware then steals the credential data along with OAuth authentication tokens, hence the nickname, which allow access to Microsoft services including Exchange Online, SharePoint, and OneDrive. The malware also sends the exfiltrated data to an actor-controlled email address without the email showing in the sent folder.
Oh, tricky. Okay. So we're running low on time, so I'll just hit the high points of this one. Basically, Russians APT28, Fancy Bear, they're like the espionage unit. They're very good. If they want to get you, they're going to get you, okay? And they have some type of malware that can harvest. It says Microsoft email credentials, but like realistically, it's like O365 creds, right? You don't have separate email creds from like your SharePoint or your other infrastructure, okay? and they get in and they steal stuff. I would assume that because it is APT 28, it's much more targeted. They're looking for very specific users' accounts and getting into email and figuring out stuff like that. Obviously, once you're in email, you have a confidentiality breakdown on who's talking to who, when they're talking, what language they're using, attachments that could reveal important intelligence and sensitive information like, relationships or military strategy, potential supply chain things like we're ordering 500,000 units of, whatever, computers, food, bullets, what, it doesn't matter, but it's all intel, right? Let's see. The malware runs within Outlook, so if you're, yeah. All right. I will tell you that the malware exfils victims' data by sending email from the victim's account. There's no evidence that it's in the sent folder. I mean, this is like basic, like an undergrad senior project would, like on malware, would definitely know to delete the email from the sent folder. I mean, that's like day one. So, it still has to go through the email. So if you can, you could, for what it's worth, you could put on policies and Exchange Online protection around inbound and outbound TLDs. Again, here's the thing. APT 28 sending exfilling data by sending email, they're definitely not mailing it to like comrade@kremlin.ru, right? That'd be so stupid. Like they're clearly going to email it to like, whizbang@outlook.com or foobar@gmail or, wingding at Yahoo or boomer@AOL, right? So, mail delivery rules are probably going to have limited impact here.
Virginia radiology practice suffers a cyber attack. Radiology Associates of Richmond, Virginia has been in practice for more than a century, having opened its doors in 1905. It provides imaging services to several hospitals and outpatient facilities in the Richmond area, and it is now dealing with an infiltration that occurred between April 2nd and 6th of 2024 and confirmed a year later on May 2nd of this year. The personal and health information of over 1.4 million individuals has been affected, but no known ransomware group has claimed responsibility for this attack.
All right. So, cool flex, bro. I don't know what radiology looked like in 1905, but I would probably pass until we got, learned a little bit more, right? Like, I don't know. Sometimes you see these like historical ads where like, at the shoe store, they had x-ray machines where you could just like stick your foot through and look at your bones. It was like you were just highly irradiating your own foot. Like back then, dude, there's a reason we have like safety checks and FDA and stuff like that. Anyways, dude, healthcare company gets hit with ransomware. Looks like, data exfil, 1.4 million individuals. It sucks. It is, it is what it is, right? I mean, hopefully they have cyber insurance. Hopefully they have, it doesn't say that their operations are down, so it might have just been a data exfil type attack. So the victims here are you and me, right? The victims is not Radiology Associates of Richmond. They're probably going to have to give everybody some identity theft protection. Enjoy that. Yay. But yeah. Yeah, dude, when you go back and look at old school what was normal, back then, it's insane. Like I always love that. Like smoking on airplanes, mailing children. Like back in the early 1900s, you could literally put like, I could put my son in like a box and like FedEx him to Vegas. Like there's just so much crazy stuff. All right, let's go. All right, y'all. Holla, 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 holla. Guys, we are just crushing it like a bunch of bosses up in here. This was episode 923 of your Simply Cyber Daily Cyber Threat Brief. If today was your first episode, I hope you enjoyed the living crap out of it. I'm Jerry, all about good times. Don't go anywhere because we automatically roll over to the next show called Jawjacking. Jawjacking is a 30-minute AMA. If you have any questions or you want to just kick it, this is what Jawjacking is. It's a super fun, super easy podcast. It is live with me. Put a question in chat with a Q, and I got you covered, bro. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. Don't forget, everybody, huge week of programming. We're going to do Simply Defensive together at 9:30, but between 9 a.m. Eastern and 9:30 right now, we're doing some Jawjacking. So get your drinks, get your glasses, hide your wife, hide your kids, and let's go. Ever wonder what it takes to break into cybersecurity? Join us every weekday for Jawjacking, where industry experts answer your burning questions about the cybersecurity field. Live, unfiltered, and totally free. Let's level up together. It's time for some Jawjacking. All right, what's up, everybody? Holla, holla, holla. If you got to get back to work like Gloriana Gloria, coffee cup cheers to you. Everybody crush your day. JT Webb, crush your day. Devin Grady, crush your day. Nerman, crush your day. All right, guys, let's kick it. If you got questions, I got answers. That's exactly what I do. I get messaged a lot, okay? And this isn't like some stupid-ass humble brag flex thing. It's just a reality. I get DMs, emails, a lot, okay? And the reality is I can't respond to everybody. I do respond to some of them, like randomly selected, but for the most part, I cannot get to everybody, and it makes me feel like a jerk. So what I did was I created Jawjacking. It's a 30-minute show, so we can answer your questions. That's the entire point of it, okay? It is not for me to sit up here and flap my gums. First question, Moshe Levy, accepted a new job back in teaching STEM. How does one leverage teaching for a more hands-on cyber tech role? Hold on one second. So Moshe Levy's asking this question on stream right now. For those who don't know, I am a faculty at the Citadel Military College, so I have a PhD, right? So I've worked in academia. I've learned in academia, like formal academia and everything like that. And the question of how to leverage teaching for more hands-on. Here's my thing. At the end of the day, right, teaching, in my opinion, is basically mentoring. Teaching is communication. Communication doesn't get as much love and praise as it should. Just because you can speak English or you can speak your native language does not mean that you're good at communicating. And this isn't supposed to be like a dig on anyone. It's just a reality. There's a very, very effective way of communicating. Think about any time anyone's ever tried to teach you something and you're like, Jesus, man, you're not helping me. Like, you're talking about things that don't matter. You're using terms I don't know, like all these things. So as far as teaching to be more hands-on in cyber, I think it would be really, really applicable for, when you say hands-on, like no matter what, if you're sitting on the keyboard configuring firewalls and stuff, you still need to know what rules you're creating for the firewall, what business processes are you enabling, who are you working with, and being able to communicate, educate, and if you're training a junior engineer to work the firewall with you, Moshe, like as an example, or I know Moshe's a pen tester, so if you're writing a report for your client, communicating in a way that you're teaching your client what the problems are, that's how you leverage it. Okay, let's keep cooking. Fleeta says, what cup of coffee are you drinking right now? So this is Starbucks French roast, or Kirkland Signature French roast. I gotta tell you, between me, you, and the wall here, everybody, Kirkland Costco, their French roast used to be the Starbucks French roast, and then they fell out of love with them, and that was that. It's not great, but it's cheaper than buying Starbucks French roast. I love Starbucks French roast. That's my favorite bean. What hair product do you use? I use American Crew Matte Clay, if that's what you want. American Crew Matte Clay. Here we go. I'm going to show you guys real quick. This is it right here. That's it right there. The orange label. Thank you for asking, Top Hat Cat. All right. All right. Continuing to look for questions. If you have a question, put it in chat. This ends with a question. Christina Paulika, a.k.a. the librarian. Hands-on within the school or hands-on to network with cyber companies? Hands-on within the school or Oh, I think she's asking Moshi a question. What did I think of the F1 movie? Wildly entertaining. I think it was great. Really quick, I am very particular. I'm sure many of you are gonna like say to yourself, right? Like, obviously, Jerry, I'm very particular about certain things, and I have a certain penchant for cinematic editing, which is a very specific thing, and I don't know why but the movie was good. Brad Pitt is wildly entertaining as a actor. I think he's great without being like presumptuous or kind of douchey. And the movie was great. They just had some editing issues. Okay, like they introduced like a late third act movie plot element that like it wasn't grounded in anything. I didn't understand it. They also did some like, I don't know, like, I don't want to ruin anything, but it was worth it. I liked it. You know what it is? I would say that F1 is very much one of those classic summer blockbuster movies. So if you like going to the movies, I love going to the movies. If you like going to the movies and you want to harken back to those, you know, blockbuster summer type movies, F1's, you know, it's worth the money. I did not feel bad about spending the money. Do I ever drink Cafe Bustelo coffee? I've had it. Cyber Risk Witch, I'm not a fan. Robert says he's changing from government to private. What area is good to break into the private sector with? In your instance, I know you're not going to like this answer, but doing government contracting. So you'll be working for a private sector company. You'll just be working in the government. Your experience and background and probably your network and connections will make you very valuable in that capacity. Let's see. Incognito, where can I go to search for proof of concepts for vulnerabilities, especially zero-day vulns? It's an interesting question. Think it might depend on why. I will tell you the easiest answer. It's not the exclusive answer, but the easy answer would be GitHub. Go look on GitHub. Tuvia on LinkedIn says, came late. Yeah, we did a tool shell story. I think it was before the break. Yeah, it was our second story of the day, Tuvia. So go back and watch the show, probably like 20 minutes in. Moshi Levy says, also check out Exploit DB. That is a great example, too. Divide and Respect. Heard a rumor that you can get half a CPA for listening to Simply Cyber. You can get a half a CPA for listening to Simply Cyber's daily cyber threat brief podcast. So Simply Cyber is a YouTube channel, but we have 11 podcasts on the channel. The daily cyber threat brief, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Eastern, is the one that's worth half a CPE. And I'm almost positive it qualifies for ISC2 CISSP cert, but for any certification, all you have to do is Google the certification and then the word CPE and then the word policy and read the policy on what qualifies. All right. Space Tacos, how long did you work as an auditor? Also, what made you want to teach? Were you a teacher before working at the Citadel? Okay, great question. Thanks, Space Tacos. I was an auditor for probably, maybe like 6 years. I was an auditor, roughly. I did COBIT, like Sarbanes-Oxley audit. I did DoD, like audit around DIACAP packages for the Marine Corps. And then I did FISMA auditing for a minute, and then I moved into risk management and FISMA risk, and I still did some audit, but what made me want to teach, I love serving people. I mean, Simply Cyber, I'm up here kicking it and everything like that, but I'd like to think that I'm teaching just kind of in a more innovative way. But I love helping people. Here's, if you want to boil it down to its absolute base elements, I love cybersecurity. I love it. I love talking about it. I love working it. I love reading about it, learning about it. I love all the things cybersecurity, okay? And I love helping people, okay? I came, without turning this into like without turning this into about me, okay? I came from what I would consider very humble beginnings, okay? So I came from like working for food, okay? Like literally, I had so I came from like nothing, and then now I'm great, and I have a family, and I provide for them. So I've done a lot, okay? And cyber was the foundation that gave that to me. So if something I'm so passionate about can provide so much, I feel like I have to give back. I have to teach, okay? So I really enjoy that. Plus, teaching, and for those who are teachers in chat, I'd love for you to share your thoughts. When you teach, there's a lot of things that you take as like common knowledge or assumptions that when you teach someone, you realize there's gaps in knowledge that you need to take a step back and educate on. Additionally, because at the Citadel, I didn't decide to teach at the Citadel because of this, but I've since learned it's a really nice benefit. When I teach at the Citadel, my students are 18 and 19 years old. That means they were born in like 2007, 2008. I was 38. Like, I had already worked in industry for like 8 years or something, right? Like there's all sorts of things. Like, they don't know about MeRight Botnet. They don't know about like Stuxnet or not even like cyber things. Like, they don't even know about like the 2008, listen, they don't know about the 2008 housing crisis in the United States. These 18, 19-year-olds have never worked a real job in corporate America. So like the paradigm and the power struggles and the policy and the friggin' Game of Thrones, they don't know any of that. So it's really, really interesting to learn and see their perspective, which makes me a better communicator. Thank you, Space Tacos. And honestly, the reason that I work at the Citadel, this is a story that I probably don't think I've ever told. Not that it's super interesting, but I had actually applied for a job as a full-time faculty staff at Citadel after I finished my PhD. And I interviewed, they offered me the job, and I didn't take it. It was a financial decision why I did not take it. But they said, well, obviously we can't meet your financial requirements, but would you like to teach outside of being formal, traditional tenure track faculty? And I said, yeah, let's do that. Angular, do you ever use, or does your company ever use product that there's a 0-day that you're like, oh crap, gotta patch it? Yeah, all the time. I mean, not all the time, like 0 days are falling from the sky, but yeah. I mean, it's part of the reason why I do I don't do the show exclusively just to entertain. I do the show because I need to stay current as well as you do, right? So, like if there's like, if there's like a Synology NAS problem or a Windows problem or iPhone or, any of the tech that we use, then sure. Great questions, by the way, guys, today. Currently pursuing a master in information systems. I currently have Sec Plus. Which certs should I recommend pursue next? Hey, Sarah, thanks for asking. It depends what role you want, honestly. Certs don't have as much market impact as you'd think. I would say you are already getting formal education. Your mileage may vary. I'll give you a prescriptive answer, and then I'll give you a strategy. Okay, the prescriptive answer is if you want to work as a pen tester, maybe consider PNPT or OSCP. If you want to be a blue teamer, check out, I think it's Hack the Box's CDSA. Casually Joseph has talked that one up really nicely. If you want to be a GRC professional, ISAC CISA is the next one, but like I think you need 2 to 5 years of experience, so you're not going to have that. The strategy, what I would say, Sarah, is whatever job you want in industry, whatever it is, right? Whatever you want to do in cybersecurity, go find that job posting today and look at what certs they're asking for and make that your next cert as best you can, okay? Are there any free online resources for CCNA exam? Not that I know of. I will tell you this, though, David Tooley. So I have CCNA. It's probably expired by now, okay? This is the Cisco, the entry-level Cisco cert, Cisco networking cert. I'll tell you guys 2 things. One, I studied, books and read and sat for the CCNA, and I failed it. It's the first and only certification exam I've ever failed. 2, that whole exam is very, very hands-on. Like you basically are configuring networks and stuff like that and understanding routing protocols and all that other stuff. And if you haven't put hands on keyboard and done it, you're probably going to have a very hard time with it. So whatever resources you do, make sure they're hands-on practical resources. If you're interested, David, I'm not sure how much this would apply to the I don't know how much this would apply to the CCNA exam, but Cisco Packet Tracer is really, really popular. So I would check this out. This is a free tool, by the way, Cisco Packet Tracer. Okay. And Cisco Packet Tracer will let you build networks and configure the switching. So if it were me, if I was looking for a free option, and this is what I would do, okay? Cisco Packet Tracer. And if you want, this is Simply Cyber Academy, which is my school. I believe, yeah, it's this one right here. This is a free course. And you could see here, in this free course, I actually have a section on IT and network. This course is basically designed for people that think they want to work in cybersecurity and they're just overwhelmed by the sheer volume of everything, resources, training, all that crap. Basically, I made this course and I tell you, hey, here's Cisco Packet Tracer and here's how you use it and why you should use it. Hey, here's this resource. Here's what you should do with it and how you should use it. So I made this course as basically me walking you through lots of free and free resources and what you should be doing with them. Because here's the reality. Who asked that question? David? This is for everybody. Go ahead and scoop that up. I'll pin it in chat, right? Wait, hold on. Wait a minute. I pinned the wrong thing. Here's the reality. How many of you have received here's a swap list. Here's 25 free cyber resources. Here's 10 labs you can do to learn Wireshark. Here's 8 labs you can do to become a SOC engineer or whatever, right? Well, they don't tell you what you should be focusing on or what you should do, right? So that's what I did with this course. Lazaro Rivera, my man, good to see you in chat. Good morning, Dr. Auger. Any advice to kind of recover mentally after working 7 days a week post major incident? Oof. Yeah, man. I mean, if you can, I would definitely tell your boss this, or align with your boss. But get off your phone. Disconnect if you can. Get a day of full disconnect. No email, no nothing. Do the things you like, whether it's go out and go for a walk, go to a bar, go play Baldur's Gate 3. For me, you've got to do something that fills your cups, right? Go visit a family member, go out with your friends, just like you have to disconnect from it, okay? That's the way to do it, in my opinion, okay? What advice would you give to someone who's currently obtaining their degree in cyber? In what ways does this help you pivot in the field? Okay, so the number one thing you can do if you're getting a degree in cyber is make sure you're building relationships with your peers and your faculty, okay? That's the number one thing you can do. The way it helps you pivot in the field is because chances are your faculty know people or they currently work in the field, right? So if you are, here's my thing. I tell my students this all the time. If you're just like coasting and doing the bare minimum, your faculty looks at you and they're like, yeah, you're going to get an A. Great for you, but like I wouldn't hire you because you're not killing it, right? You're not taking initiative. So if you're killing it and you're talking to faculty and engaging, they're going to tell you about like, hey, there's a conference coming up this week. You might want to check it out. Or, hey, I've got this internship opportunity. Or, hey, I need a TA for next semester or whatever. Like relationship building is critical, Nishigi. And it helps you because you establish, people are like, oh, if I ask Nisha, it's going to get done. It's going to get done well. That's how it works. People talk. DC Sanchez, maybe not related to cyber, but I'm good with face-to-face interactions, horrible online, trying to make connections to find a mentor. All right, well, if you're great at face-to-face, definitely go to conferences, community meetups. Even, I mean, some meetups are like cameras on, right? So, I mean, even though it's like online, it's still like face-to-face kind of. All right, continuing to look at... So Fleet is posting the third is asking about Simply CyberCon. The reality is, and I'll be transparent with you guys, I've been really focused on Black Hat. So Kimberly helped me build the website and it's up and running. We have the CFP open. We have the training open. We have the conference. Things going on. Here are some updates, okay? So Chris Whitlock was working on the badge. Chris Whitlock has, what's the best way to put this? Chris Whitlock is no longer working on the badge. His priorities shifted. So the badge is not being worked on currently, so it's likely that this year's badge isn't going to be as interesting as last year's badge. Jenny Housley was working on the CTF. Unfortunately, Jenny Housley had a conflict from a timing perspective, isn't unable to do that. So we're suffering some L's here on the Simply CyberCon. I personally, like Josh Mason was working quite a bit with it last year. He is focused on his own village at DEF CON this year, which totally support that. I'll be speaking at it actually. And it's just, It's kind of in limbo right now, Fleetus, and I apologize to everybody. I do feel a certain amount of gravity and weight and personal accountability for not having Simply CyberCon be as amazing as it is already. I personally have a vested financial interest to pump this up. I've already doled out $6,000. Yeah, this is coming. If you want, simplycybercon.org for more information. My plan is to, when I get back from Black Cat, to ramp this thing up as my primary focus. So thanks, Fleetus. And everybody who's interested in volunteering, I definitely appreciate that. I think when I get back from Black Cat, I'm going to hold a, like a Simply CyberCon programming meeting or whatever, and we'll figure it out. Thank you for asking, Fleetus. All right, everybody. Looks like we're about 60 seconds from launch of Simply Defensive. If I didn't get to your question, please come back tomorrow and ask your questions. I know we were kind of cut back here. Kevin, I am not in the Carolinas right now. I'm in Massachusetts. Bingo refit, I haven't worked on that a single second. Roswell, UK. In the grand scheme of things that I have on my action item list, the bingo card is back behind the back burner at this time. I just don't have time. A lot of questions. Okay. Until Simply Defensive starts, I'll answer questions. All right, cool. Space Taco sharing some good vibes. Jazzy Jazz, what cloud cert's good for the government, Amazon or Google? I would focus on Microsoft. Microsoft 365 has a huge footprint in U.S. government. If I had to pick, if you say Amazon or Google, I would do Amazon. If Microsoft is out of the question for you. All right, continuing to look really quick until this Simply Defensive launches. Moshe, what SIM systems are most common used in the wild? So Splunk is like big enterprise. If you're going to go work for a Fortune 500 company, definitely likely Splunk. Otherwise, go look for Elasticsearch or Elk. It's sometimes called. Elastic doesn't like you calling it Elk though. What's the ideal time frame for technical interview? 30 minutes too short? Yeah, probably. I'd say 60 for a technical interview. It depends what you're asking them. It needs to be the right length of time. Computer Cyber K. I don't know why I feel slowly. All right, hey, here we go. We are up and running. Go to Simply Defensive. We can rate it together. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. Thanks so much. This is the new season for Simply Defensive. Shout out to Wade Wells and Josh Mason. I wish them the best. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. Until next time, stay secure.